Cross up, bear down, red zone, let's go. C-H-I-C-A-G-O. Cross up, bear down, red zone, let's go. C-H-I-C-A-G-O. Cross up, bear down, red zone, let's go. C-H-I-C-A-G-O. Cross up, bear down, red zone, let's go.
Do. Hey guys, welcome back. Bear down, bear in. Let's get this season over with, huh? Who's sick of this season? Who's ready to move on? Who's ready to get to next year? I think all the mock drafts and all the turmoil leads people to want to just get past this year. Being eliminated now officially, 4-9. You won't see it officially on the standings, but we're officially done. Hey Bob, what's up? Those are tuning in. Right off the bat, right off the gate, we're going to hit something because I think I'm on an island here with how I feel about certain things on this team. I'm not crapping on Caleb by any means. I want that to be super clear. If you ask me which quarterback has the most potential to be a superstar of the rookie quarterbacks, which one can get it all and put it all together, it's Caleb. I want Caleb. I'm glad Caleb's our quarterback. I wouldn't take Jaden over Caleb. I wouldn't take Bo Nix over Caleb. I really wouldn't. But man, he got thrown a raw straw, didn't he? I mean, he lost his offensive coordinator, then he lost his head coach. And to start with, we ponied up and kept a defensive head coach. Defensive coaches in the league are not nearly as successful as offensive coaches. So we decided last year that we didn't learn through Justin Fields, and now the exact same thing has happened. These things Caleb is doing, they're on him. I mean, I can show you guys film. In fact, we can get into that if a lot of you guys don't believe me. But Caleb process is slow. He doesn't see his reads. He's doing the exact same thing Justin did. Super talented quarterbacks that are getting ruined by the organization. It's driving me nuts. And then you hear the narrative, all these, I mean, I try to be as extremely realistic about this team that I can. I really do. I try to give a really, I have my opinions. I like players. I like certain ones. And I like Caleb. I do. I like Caleb a lot. And I hope he develops and processes and sees things. His footwork is trash right now. He can't see the open reads. He doesn't get out of his hands. And then in the press conference, the first one this week, he's had a couple. He had one today, but the first one this week absolutely drove me nuts when they were asking about third down sacks. And he said it doesn't really matter if it's a sack or an incompletion because third down didn't succeed. And I was like, what are you talking about? Taking a sack on third down doesn't even give you a shot. At least if you throw the ball, and if you throw it away. He's talking about if you throw the ball away or if you get a sack. And I couldn't take that one. That was a rough one. Dave S. Antmus, Ampharius, Graying, Illinois, Fishing 702. Appreciate you guys tuning in. People are starting to tune in. I don't know how long this show will be tonight. We can go over a couple things, but the narrative out there right now is this offensive line is trash. It's the worst offensive line in the league. We have to rebuild the whole thing. There's only maybe one starter on the entire offensive line. We got to recycle and get it over with and move on. And it's just not true. Our offensive line is better than our defensive line. I can show that. In fact, let me show something here. I don't have this one pulled up, so give me a second here. Here's the end of the game. Here's one of the sacks. As you guys know, there were many sacks last week. So here is the end of the game last week. Here's sack number 5. That's a sack. That's considered a sack, guys. Now, I probably should have zoomed in on this better, but here's the other angle. You'll see the play I'm talking about. So here's Caleb, and this is considered a sack. Boop. That's the fumble. That's considered a strip sack fumble. That's a sack. And so these stats, these guys on Twitter, these guys, the narrative, 670 the score, Sylvie and all these guys, they try to convince you that this line is trash. That line, if you look at it, is held up. Go watch my All-22. Some people, even after watching the All-22 video, don't want to hear it. Let me remove that one. Now, some of them are bad. I mean, some of them are on the line, but you're going to get that every game. Let's look at, this is the one everyone wants to focus on. Let's look at this one. I might not be up to speed here. That's the play before. That's the play before, play before, play before. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Braxton bull rush takes, he got around Braxton, sack. That's on Braxton. That one's on Braxton, 100%. We go to the other angle. Here's Braxton. And I just have all these queued up. I cut every sack out. Braxton didn't stay with him. Didn't shuffle his feet. Didn't have a good enough base to shuffle his feet. That's on Braxton. So some of them are. But then, let's go back here. Let's look at the last two of the game. Here's sacks 6 and 7 of that same game. This wasn't meant to be the whole purpose. I'm just going to get into this whole Caleb and the line thing. There's Caleb, 2, 3 wide open guys. I mean, look at this right here. You got Rome. I can't use my pointer because we're on StreamYard, guys. But look between the 30 and 40 yard line. You see Rome Odunze wide open. Look at the top of your screen at is that Keenan Allen? I don't know who's at the top, to be honest. Keenan Allen wide open. Caleb right now can get that ball out of his hands, and this is at 2.5 seconds. He should be getting rid of the ball at this point, but I'm going to scramble, and this is a sack. It's a negative 1 yard sack. That's on Caleb. That's on Caleb. Here's the other angle of it. Again, I'm not trashing on Caleb. I love the kid. Boom, boom. Oh, where are we going? Sack. That's a sack. It's a sack. Next play, very next play. Whoop. Boop. That's a good pocket, guys. Hate to tell you. And look at the out. I can't use my pointer because I'm on StreamYard. But at the top, you see at the top of the line between the 20 and 30 yard line, you see Cole Kmet kind of falling as he releases. And then look at the bottom, you see DeAndre Swift. There's 2 outs for him. The guys out in the field are covered, all 3 receivers. So if you see them covered, get rid of the ball. Get it to either Cole Kmet or DeAndre Swift. Even better right here, you can see them both wide open. He's still got a pocket. None of them have developed. Get the ball to one of them. Again, but we're going to blame Braxton Jones for this one. All right, let me remove this. We'll get back to the actual video. Remove. So out of Caleb's 56 league-leading sacks, he's responsible for 27 of them. Caleb's responsible for 27. More sacks than most teams have taken. He's responsible for. Oops, this is cruising along. We're supposed to stay right here for just a second. So, anyways, I haven't seen Keep Jones either. Hope Kieran can develop or draft another left tackle to work in. Sign Tev, hoping for a cheap deal, then draft left guard. Slowly develop behind Tev. Keep Shelton draft center to develop. Atmos, you've been watching my channel too long. You are ingrained in the Mason Nation. People aren't going to like what you're saying right there. Kieran, a lot of people don't realize right now, Karan Amagaji is he's rehabbing basically. He's still coming back. So he's got a ton of upside potential. In fact, Karan is better than most tackles in this upcoming draft class. So 100%, you need to develop him over this offseason, and he could start over Braxton next year. He really could. Like we get in the next fall camp, 90-man roster, and they start competing. Karan could honestly take Braxton's job. He needs to hit the weight room hard. That quad injury really set him back a ton. You look at his skinny frame. He needs to beef up. He needs to get some base under him. Hit the squats every day, all summer. See what happens. But we need to sign a couple big-name free agents. There's a lot of things we can do. But just everyone's trying to protect Caleb. And the reality is the kid is underperforming as a rookie. He really is. But I don't completely blame him. He's been crapped on by this entire situation. We kept Matt Eberflus when we shouldn't have. And now we've had the repercussion of that. And then you have Shane Waldron, who apparently was a pussyfoot, just tiptoe around everything and not assertive, not bold, not an enforcement. So he kind of got a shaft. So I don't want Brian Flores, but here, look on your screen. That's kind of the highlight here. We got Thomas Brown and Brian Flores. Same thing I highlighted last week. You had Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan, who was rumored that the Bears would try to go after it. It's never happening. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. We're not getting either one of them, but we do have the rematch. The big game last time. Last time, the Bears forced it to overtime, which was awesome. I mean, I was freaking out and going nuts, but then we got the ball back and we crapped an egg, crapped down both legs, and only allowed 3 sacks in that game, 2 in the very beginning of the game. Caleb played much differently, much more decisive. Seemed like Thomas Brown up in the booth was able to give clear direction, get things out. Last game against the Niners, guys, those 7 sacks on the touchdown drives that we had, no sacks occurred. He plays so much differently when he's decisive and quick and his footwork is clean, gets the ball out. So here's the last game, 32 for 47 for Caleb, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold's obviously playing very, very well as well. Last week, heck of a game. So we didn't convert in overtime, and the Vikings did. So take a break right here, and we're going to talk about the Fantasy Football League for just a second. Those who aren't aware, there's a Fantasy Football League. We're going to take 2 seconds on this because the winner of this is getting tickets to next year's season opener. Thanks to Wally, one of the other subscribers. We're going to hook him up with a jersey, and he's going to give 2 tickets to the winner of this league. If you are in the consolation section, if you're one of 5 through 8, you are earning a spot back in the next year's league. Those who are 9 through 12 are going to lose their spot. You can get back in, but you're going to have to reapply. We're going to have people send in their email again or whatever to me next year as we get close. But these top 8 will be automatically renewed. And someone from each of these 2 leagues is going to face off each other in the championship, and the winner will get 2 tickets to next year's season opener. So that's pretty freaking cool. All right, let's get past that. That is happening now, though. This week starts that week. So, all right, at the bottom of the screen, you see the 3 games in 10 days. This is what I called the gauntlet before the season started. All those L's, those are the things that drive me nuts as a Bears fan. I can't stand that we're in this eternal misery and endless hell of Bears fandom. And I don't even care about what Packers and Lions and Vikings fans say anymore. It just hurts to constantly feel like your team has no shot at winning the Super Bowl. 7 wins in a row. And now we have 3 games in 10 days, which will be fun for viewership, but sucks for the players. So Monday Night Football, 16th. Then we have Sunday against the Lions, the 22nd. And then the day after Christmas, Thursday, we have against the Seahawks, the Pigeons of the Sea. Luckily, 2 of those are at home, so it should make it more bearable. Let's get rid of that. Ban that's crap. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Caleb doesn't get nervous before games. He gets nervous as soon as the game begins. I don't think he was being honest there, but he's just trying to give a persona. But so 3 games in the next 10 days starting on Monday. So we'll have the Vikings, then the Lions, and the Seahawks. And honestly, I don't know how we're going to win any one of those with. The big problem is the coaching staff. I mean, it really is. You saw Eric Washington in this last game for our defense. He doesn't know how to adjust and adapt. He's a line coach. And then one huge thing Jonathan Owens said that I keyed in on before that I'm going to say again. Other teams have tape on us now. And while other teams have these excellent coaches that are getting them, all the adaptions and changing things for them mid-game and these high-level coaches, our coaches are basically just trying to scrap this team together to get through the rest of the year. So I feel like we lose every game the rest of the year just on the pure edge that other teams have quality coaches and we don't. And you look at the teams we have left. The only one that's questionable is the Seahawks, but they're coming along really well. And they do appear to have their next good coach again. So it's frustrating for me to watch these last 4 games. I'll watch every one of them. I'm going to want the Bears to win every one of them, but I don't have a lot of faith and confidence right now that we are going to win any of them. I just want to see Caleb develop. I want to see good things happen for the team. So here's the injury report from today. I would expect the concussion ones not to play. Ryan Bates, which I don't care if he plays or not. He's a waste. Roshan Johnson, I would expect him not to play, especially when we signed, I know his name, brain fart, Royce Freeman, when we signed Royce Freeman this week. But you look at 3 running backs on the injury report, Roshan Johnson with his concussion, DeAndre Swift with his groin. He played last week with it, but you saw him take some big hits he shouldn't have taken. And Travis Homer with the head injury, full participant today, so I would expect him to play, but I think Royce will actually get called to be able to be in the game and take some of those reps, especially some of the goal line reps that normally Roshan would take playing the fullback type of role. So we get past the injury report. There's the signings. DeAndre Carter to the reserved list. You'd think Josh Blackwell would take the returns, but I was really frustrated last week. I don't know how many people caught that when he fair caught the ball on the 5-yard line. Let that go. I mean, it could have gone in the end zone. Even if it didn't go in the end zone, 5-yard line to 2-yard line is not a significant difference. And it was a line drive, and it was headed towards the end zone. Royce Freeman, if you look down there where it says NFL career on the left, if you look down, a lot of people, including myself, thought 2019 he was kind of taking that role, and he was going to be the Broncos lead back for the future. And then they they drafted Javonte Williams the very next year, and then he basically found his way out, and then on to different teams: Houston, Carolina, Rams. There's 3 or 4 other ones. Bills, I think, Browns. Found himself in different places. So the Bears have picked him up just for depth. The other big one, Jonathan Ford. I did a video on all 4 of these guys, all 4 transactions. Jonathan Ford, huge, almost 340 pounds, 6'5". He plugs holes. That's his job. He's not going to get you any pass rush pressure. He's not going to get pressure on the quarterback, which we need, but we also need to plug these holes. Our run defense is absolutely abysmal. So I like that signing a bit. I hope he gets a shot. So let's look at the teams and how they mesh up and why we need that so bad. So on the left is the Bears offense versus the Vikings defense on the right. The Bears are now 24th in offense, 19.5 points per game. It's getting worse. Yards per game total, we are now last in the entire league. Absolutely last. 290 yards per game. We're under 300 yards a game. 32nd in the league. This is where our season's headed, guys. Running yards per game, 23rd at 105.8. Passing yards per game, we're 30th. We're 30th in the NFL at 182.7 passing yards per game. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like the same old Bears? What is not familiar, though, is only 10 turnovers. 5th in the league. We're 5th best in the league. Caleb has not thrown an interception in 7.5 games, 255 attempts. So we take our little graphic, and you can see that NFL rookie record is extended. Now, the all-time record is Aaron Rodgers at 403, 408, something like that. Most of the pass attempts without an interception. So Caleb is taking care of the ball. And if you listen to Thomas Brown today, he said one thing he appreciates about Caleb is he's taking calculated risks. He's not being careless with the ball, but he's also gripping it and ripping it. He's throwing it in on some tight windows sometimes, and he appreciates him doing that. I just think his footwork needs to be cleaner, needs to be more decisive, and he needs to be, set that back foot and get it to someone a lot quicker. You can still make good throws and do that. So 255 passing attempts without an interception 7.5 weeks ago is the last time that happened. So huge for Caleb. On the other side of it, this is why one of my keys to the game is the Bears need to air raid. This is the same thing I said last time against the Vikings. We have to get Caleb throwing the ball. And against the Vikings, it's not as important to get the run game going to get the passing game going because the Vikings suck in their secondary. Now, they do get some interceptions, but they have a lot of separation rate against them. So Caleb's going to be able to find some of these guys open. They allow 337.8 yards per game, 17th in the league. They only allow 18.5 points per game, which is 6th best in the league. But most of those yards come through the air. See how the running yards is 87.2? That's 2nd best in the league. They don't allow the run very well at all, but they do allow the passing yards. So the Vikings are a little bit of an anomaly. They give up a lot more in the air, but they do have a ton of turnovers, 27 on the year, which is 2nd best in the league. And then for the Bears, on defense, our defense is starting to struggle as well. Not the same old Bears. I'll get to the comments in a minute, guys. Points per game, the Bears are allowing 21.4. Remember the old Bears where we were allowing less than 20 yards per game. We're now above that. The Vikings are scoring 26.1, which is 9th best in the league. We're allowing 352 yards per game, almost the exact same that the Vikings are scoring. Only thing is our defense, that's worse for your defense than your offense. We're 26th in running yards per game, so our running game still struggles. Our defensive line is abysmal against the run. But the positive is we're tied for 6th in most turnovers. So we are getting the turnovers. We have 20 turnovers on the year. And the Vikings are giving away turnovers. They have 19 turnovers on the year. So the Bears stand a chance there. Boom. All right, so here's where Caleb tracks right now, on pace for 35.91. So the Bears record this year is kind of starting to squeak out of play unless he really airs it out. And this is a week he should have roughly 300 yards if they play it appropriately. I mean, he really should. We got to have guys not running into each other, not falling in the same box on the field. We got to have separation. We got to have him getting it out quick. But this is an opportunity where he could pad those stats a little bit. He could easily be over 3,000 yards by the end of this game. That's only 254 yards, so he should be. But he has 27.46 now. He's on pace for 35.91. See, the Bears' record is 38.38, and we, of course, want him to get over that 4,000 mark. As far as touchdowns go, he's on pace for 23 now. He's got 16 on the year. The Bears' rookie record was 11. He's on pace for 23, and the Bears' overall record is 29. We want to see someone pass that 30 mark. Here's our receivers. Oh, let's not blow by that too quick. Chase to 1,000 yards. We got DJ at 712. We've got Romo Dunze, who I truly believe is going to be our wide receiver 1 by the end of the year. 585. We've got Keenan Allen at 471 and Cole Kmet at 448. None of them on pace for over 1,000 yards. Next up, this is the line. Here's our pass block efficiency. The last couple of years has been one of the worst. 82.5 in 2022, 81.1 in 2023, good enough for 29th, 26th this year. Now we're down to 20th. Last week was a bad week for our pass block efficiency. It was worse than normal. The Niners came prepared for us. The Bears are down to 20th at 84.3. You can see sacks. They show we've allowed 32, but as you know, there's 56. A lot of those are on Caleb. And then this is the one thing I want to show as well, pass block efficiency prior to last week on the left. So this is before last week's game. This is a slide from last week that I shared on the preview video. The Bears were 8th best in the league in the 3 weeks prior, really doing a good job, only giving up 5 sacks over those 3 games. Then this last game kind of reverted back. But our starters still aren't doing bad. Look across the board there. I know a lot of people won't agree with this because they saw the bull rush and they have the negative recency and they see the highlights and they think it's terrible. Coleman Shelton did have one of his worst games of the year. I agree with that. Not every player is going to have the best game all year. So hopefully they can regress. They can bring it back and they can have a better week this week. But overall, here's where they stand right now. This is from several weeks ago. The left was my tweet that I put out about how the Bears line is performing. Braxton was 17th ranked. Tevin was 11th ranked. Coleman Shelton 10th ranked. Matt Pryor 23rd. Darnell Wright 20th. And the most interesting thing to me here is how much in just 3 weeks. So this was 3 weeks ago. Darnell Wright has improved. Over those 3 weeks, Darnell Wright has been the 5th best right tackle, period. 5th best tackle in the entire league. So Darnell Wright moved from being the 20th ranked at a 74.2 grade. And then look on the right there. This is updated in that blue. Darnell Wright is now tied for 17th ranked out of 71 tackles. And he has a 77.4 grade. He's brought his entire grade up 3 points in just 3 weeks. That's pretty huge. Matt Pryor's brought his grade up as well, 23rd to 22nd. Coleman Shelton stayed the same, and his grade is almost the same. Tevin Jenkins is almost the same, regressed a little bit. He actually had one really bad game in the middle there, tied for 12th now instead of 11th. And Braxton Jones has regressed a little bit because of a couple sacks that he gave up, 20th ranked out of 71. So our line's not terrible. The line is, and I say this repeatedly, the line is very average to slightly above average, but Caleb's got to get rid of the ball a lot better. Are these guys going to win you a Super Bowl? Probably not, but they're not our biggest issue. Our biggest issue is this, the pressure. Now, this is little on the screen. This is from last week. I didn't update it anyways, but we got to get pressure. That's the key. So here's what Vegas has the odds at. We are a 7-point underdog. They say the point total is going to be 43.5. They've got, according to ESPN's analytics, 65% for the Vikings to win this game. And I'm right on board with it. I don't love our odds in this one, but this is the whole reason I put my prediction here on the prediction video. The most the Bears have scored this year is 36, and I want to see that. I want to see Caleb get his development, get things flowing, get his footwork fixed, get the ball out to guys quickly, take some of those air shots down the field. That's what I would like to see. And the Vikings, the most the Bears have allowed this year is 38. I think the Bears are going to lose. I think the defense isn't going to have answers. With Eric Washington running the show, I don't think we're going to have answers. So, all right, now I'll get to some of the comments. This is where I think things are going to land this week. I think we will lose, but I think it could be a close one. The line of Florida is 6.5. You guys are talking about next year already. I love it. Tevin should be on the right side next to Darnell. Draft Banks and plug him in at left tackle. Move Jones to left guard. Pick up free agent center from Atlanta. Woof. We're already talking next year. I will have another mock draft out soon. I would like this too, Dave. This is my hope. I hope Tev will sign a cheap deal, but I think with him staying healthy, since he's come back the second half of this year, I think he'll get big offers out in free agent market, and I think he knows that. So I think he'll say adios to the Bears. And honestly, it's probably best for both sides. But I really hope we can sign a big name free agent. And really the big one out there is Trey Smith. We need to go after him. Guards that have signed in free agency have worked out for teams in the last couple of years. Those big signings have all worked out. They're all top 10, top 5, top 1. Linderbaum has been, top 1. So we need to go out and we need to spend this year. We need to spend big. Yeah, I think you're right on that, Fishing 702. Caleb has has not forgot what he pounded in his head. Let it rip. Ball security. Ball security is all they're worried about. So mock draft season. You guys want to do a mock draft real quick before we're done? How about a fan-led mock draft? I was going to keep this to a half hour. We got 4 minutes. All right, let's do that. We'll have some fun here. Let's go to PFF or PFN. Dude, I like your style right there. Miguel, I like that a lot. I like those. I would like Majors the most out of them, Ratledge as well, but I really want, if Mason Graham can fall to us, I would love Mason Graham 100%. You guys want to do PFF as what instead? Let's do that. You got to pull it up and get it to it though. PFF. Let's see here. NFL mock draft simulator. Okay, let me switch it. Remove. What up? What up? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let's go with PFF. You guys want PFF's mock draft simulator. This will be a fan-led one. All right, so we're going with the Bears. How many rounds do you guys want to do? You want to get into the nitty-gritty late rounds? I don't think so because they're not accurate at all at this point of year. Let's go with 4 rounds. Let's go enter the draft. All right, we good on this? 4 rounds. Let's knock it out. All right, let's start this draft. Right off the bat, let's see who went. Torrey McMillan. That's not happening, number 1. They would definitely take. This is why I don't like PFF, though. They take some unrealistic things. Now, he's a stud. Those who haven't seen him, he's a stud. And New York's going to take a quarterback as well. But then you get Ashton Gentry, Abdul Carter, Malachi Starks, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Jalen Monroe. All right, so here's what we have here. I'll tell you my recommendations, then you guys tell me who you want to take. I think Will Campbell's fine. I think he's a little overhyped because this is a weaker offensive tackle class. Is he an upgrade from Braxton Jones? 100%. So if you think Braxton Jones is our biggest weakness, then you're going to take Will Campbell. But I think there's so many other deep needs on this team that need to be addressed. Mason Graham is my favorite player in this draft. We didn't get him, and I don't think it's realistic at 9 that we would get him anyways. Let's see here. I like Irsay as well at tackle. Wyatt Millum, I like a ton. You're going to move him into guard, though. Man, they're not valuing the edge position. I don't like Mikael Williams at all for those who are looking at him. I don't like Kenneth Grant. I don't think he has enough movement. He doesn't move quickly enough. He plugs holes. Man, you're going to get some value here in the second round for edges. James Pierce should be way higher than this. The Bears could take James Pierce. Do you guys like the option of trading down? Our trade down spots would be 13. Now, this is my favorite scenario, period, in this draft, no matter what, is picking up a second rounder because the second rounders in this draft class fit the Bears' needs exactly. So you can trade down 13, 16, 17, 18. What do you guys think? Let's see. Defensive tackle. Campbell. Got to take Campbell. Campbell, Rutledge, Majors. I could trade down any offers. Trade. You guys want? We're looking trade. All right. So in this sweet spot, I'm not seeing a ton of players anyways. that I'm loving right here. Nick Scourton, I think, is being too highly valued. They've got Nick Scourton at 10, and they've got James Pierce all the way at 29. That makes no sense. TJ Sanders. I like both these guys a lot for the Bears. So let's just look at a trade. I'm good trading as far back as we can because let's go to 18. So we'd get 8. They don't have a second rounder. We can't do that. Let's go 17 with the Niners. 17, 49, 9. That's clearly going to work. We want to get a little better value than that. We'll add 118 in. In fact, you probably get more value than this, but let's not worry about next year's rounders. You probably get a 4th rounder to plug with it, but we're not too worried about that. It accepted. We went through. All right, so now we're picking at 17. Wyatt Millum went off the board. I love Wyatt Millum. Kevin Banks is gone. Will Campbell's gone. All right, we can get Cam Ward. That's not happening. All right, so you've got Josh Simmons, who I don't like for the Bears at all. You can get Colson Loveland. At this point, let's just pick someone that we think we should pick. Cameron Williams, I don't think fits the Bears either. Let's see here. Highest ranked guard would be Wyatt Millum. He just went off the board. I don't think he's going to go that high. There's no way they're taking him at 16. That's not happening, especially for the Cardinals. So this is just unrealistic. But Kenneth Grant would plug holes. He would help with the run game, but he's not very good on his lateral movement. If I'm sitting in this situation, I'm probably taking James Pierce. If he's there at 17, there's no way he's there at 17. Or TJ Sanders. You guys can look through there and see what you like. Shamar Stewart, Mikael Williams. I am going to have my defensive end video out soon where I go over all the edges in this class. What are we thinking here? Billingsley, Sanders, Nolan. I like Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan should go higher than TJ Sanders for sure. Booker. Sanders, I think, will be there for sure at 18. I think Sanders will be there at 18. I think he'll go late first round. There's a lot of defensive backs and wide receivers that a lot of teams will take here at the top. I don't think he'll go that high either. But there's some cornerbacks that'll go really high in this draft. In fact, Benjamin Morrison will probably be gone by now. Colson Loveland might be gone by now. What are we thinking here, guys? Billingsley. You guys like Billingsley, huh? Looking for a position. Yeah, they're saying Shedeur Sanders is still. So this is that's why I didn't want to do PFF. Let's look at our offensive tackles, not quarterbacks. I like Bray Zabel as a center. He doesn't fit as a tackle. Jonah would be a decent option there. See, I don't like a lot of this stuff here. Josh Connerly Jr., way undervalued here at 103. I would take him in the second round for sure. Armand Membu is another guard I would take. I'm not in love. I think PFF's going off their rankings for last year. So you could fit a lot of crazy needs here with the way they have these ranked. We could take players way out of position. We could get Josh Connerly into the third round, Armand Membu. I mean, you can get some crazy stuff going with PFFs. That's why I haven't been using PFFs. Let's look at the interior offensive line. They got Booker way down at 58. That's not happening either. Tate Ratledge is probably closer there. I don't like Parker Brailsford at all. Those of you guys who don't like Coleman Shelton, there's no reason you should like Parker Brailsford. He's smaller than Shelton. He's going to get knocked on his heels. He does not fit if you want a big-bodied power center. That's not going to happen. Jaden Roberts shouldn't be that low. Luke Kandra, I like a lot at guard, and he'll probably go in the third round, not the fourth round. Seth McLaughlin had a really good year. Jake Majors. This is more realistic where Jake Majors will go compared to PFN, which I've used a lot. PFN has him in the 6th, 7th round. Jake Majors will go in the 5th round-ish. You got the wrong draft site. All right. We're going to make our best of it. We're going to make our best of it, though. So we're going to go defensive interior here. TJ Sanders, Walter Nolan, both there. If I'm in this shoe and I'm realistically looking at this at 17, Walter Nolan will go here. You guys know I love Walter Nolan. Who wants Walter Nolan? Who wants TJ Sanders? Omar Norman, lots good as well. All three of those guys, I think, will go right in this range, late first round. What are we thinking? Fan-led mock. Walter Nolan says Rithik. Nolan says Jimmy. Nolan says Miguel Conclaves. I think that's realistic. I think this is where Walter Nolan would go. So we'll draft Walter Nolan. All right, let's see what happened between here and there. Benjamin Morrison, Colson Loveland, Cameron Williams went, Kenneth Grant. I don't hate the players who went off the board. Shedeur Sanders is not going 30th to the Eagles. That's not happening. Tyler Warren will go before this. He's one of the most coveted tight ends in a long time. Cam Ward's not going in the second round. All right, so we're sitting here. We have James Pierce. We can pick an edge who's going to go possibly top 10. So we have James Pierce. We can take James Pierce. It's not realistic that he's going to be there, but we can do it. We can also look at the tackles that are available. Gray Zabel would be a good interior guard or center, and I really like him as a prospect. This is how I feel it will roll out anyways. I would like to see the Bears take defensive interior and edge 1-2. Yeah, Pierce is a kind of a no-brainer in this situation. If we can get James Pierce here at 36, you take it. So Rowdy says take Pierce. I'm on board with that. I just don't think it's realistic that he'll be here, but who knows? Who knows how the drafts go? So in agreement? I don't see anybody opposing. We're going to roll on. James Pierce, just for you guys, just so you can see, like he's just been absolutely a beast. Gets a ton of pressure, like an absolute. I think under once every 5 plays, he gets a pressure, which is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, he originally projected to go in the top percentile here, and there's no reason why PFF would have him drop this far. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. So draft James Pierce. Taking James Pierce. I was picking up a kid. Redo. We'll do another one, guys. We'll do another fan-led one. I know you guys love this stuff. In fact, we'll do one where people vote on it. I'll do that. All right, so Omar Norman Lott went. TJ Sanders went. That's fine. We've got our defensive interior, who I think is one of the best ones. We got Walter Nolan. We got James Pierce, which is extremely unrealistic. Now we're going to want to shore up the offense. Princely Uman-Mielen, if we could take him, would be an absolute steal. If Jihad Campbell's there, I'm honestly like tempted to take him and replace Tremaine Edmonds. But Gray Zabel would be a good interior offensive lineman. Let's look at the offensive tackles that are available. Jonah's not bad. Savinia, I don't know how to say his name completely, had a good year, allowed 4 sacks, but he's got a good base. He's good sized. He's 6'5", 336. PFF has him 68th on the big board. I don't think that's realistic. Donovan Jackson wouldn't be terrible. I don't know who a couple of these guys are. I don't know who Ozzie Trapilo is. I don't, to be honest with you. And I haven't looked at all the tackles as closely as I probably should. Josh Connerly Jr. is one that I like a lot. I have no idea why he's so low. 6'4", 314, but he's got a good base on him. He moves very laterally, very well. Armand Membu would be an amazing interior, but this is way too early for that. O-line, you guys want O-line? Let's see all together who's available. You got Landon Jackson, Princely Uman-Mielen. I'm half tempted to take another. I'm half tempted to take Princely. And look at his year he's having. 11 sacks. Overall, 46 total pressures on 262 pass rush opportunities. And on top of that, his run defense is incredibly good as well. I think Princely would be a great pickup for the Bears, but we already picked up James Pierce, who also would be a great pickup for the Bears. Connerly, 49th pick. I'm with you there. All right, who else we got here? Jack Sawyer's a great fit, man. We got to see. This is a great class for edge, guys. There's seriously a lot of really good edges. I wouldn't mind taking Dylan Sampson here in a minute. Donovan Iziruku is a really good defensive end that fits the Bears system as well. I don't like Mike Green. I know a lot of you guys do because of the pressure, but he doesn't fit well for the Bears. Chris Paul would be a great linebacker as well. Jared Ivey fits really well for the Bears as well. See how many options we have at defensive end here. Best available would be Princely. All right, we're going to stack with the defensive ends. Is that what we're going to do? Xavier Watts. Oof, I really like Xavier Watts' safety as well. You guys okay taking Princely? Stacking up on, I mean, this class, they're just not showing. Here, let me do this. Tackles and interior offensive line. Tyler Booker, you can get him late. I mean, in this class, Tate Ratledge at 78, Parker Brailsford. Or do we want to trade back? Oh, no trade options. Sorry. Bad on my part. Take Princely, best available. That would be Princely. Princely fits the Bears perfectly too. Both Landon Jackson and Princely would be good, but Princely fits both the run and the pass rush perfectly. So we're taking 3 defensive linemen right off the bat first. All right. Jack Sawyer went. See all these edges that went. I like Ashton Gillette a lot too. Gray Zabel went. I feel like we have to address the offensive line, but I feel like we can do that in this draft by trading down a little bit. You guys want to trade? We trade Montez Sweat. I think Sweat will be a lot better with both these guys opposite side of him. And honestly, you can move in Princely on certain plays as well. I'm going to look at the trade just because I'm curious. Ooh, we'd have to trade all the way to 69. Who would we miss out on between? Let me make me smaller. Sorry. That makes that bigger for you guys. Yeah, I like Connerly, but in this draft, we could trade down to 69 and still get Connerly. Who would we have to? I mean, we can get a ton of value for 69, 92, 49, and we can still pick up a future fourth, not a third. You guys good with trading down 69 since this class is. We need someone as nasty as Carter is who cares about the person. The guy that wants to hurt the opposing quarterback. You've got 3 of them so far. I mean, I feel like we just fixed our defensive line with this. Walter Nolan is a beast, absolute monster. James Pierce is amazing, a little smaller, and Princely is the bigger edge, who is a beast as well. I mean, yeah, this is we fixed the defensive line for sure. Who wants to trade? Get Ratledge Majors and Josh Connerly. Can we do that? Let's see if we can get 106 too. Let's trade back. We'll take 106 and we'll take back. Ooh, we'll give them back 118, 145, 201, 145. How's that? That's actually probably a pretty fair trade. You guys like that one? Triple up on O-line. Get a running back. All right, I'm doing it. They accepted it. Resume the draft. Let's see who went between now and then, though. We're going to have 2 picks here, and we're going to have some good options. In fact, Jonah all the way down here is ridiculous. He would be solid. 6'5", 336, and they even show that he's 68th ranked. All right, so between here and there, where were we? Princely we took, and then we traded with right here. Travion Henderson went, Mike Green, Kyle Kennard, Jack Beach, Mason Taylor, Dylan Sampson I like a lot, Kamari Ramsey I like, Donovan Izuruki I like, Xavier Watts. Man, Green Bay, leave the safeties alone. You don't need any more defensive backs. Jared Ivey I like a lot, but we've already got our defensive. We're going to come away with a good defensive lineman this draft. Tyler Booker went, but there's other options. I'm not upset about this at all. So let's look at our offensive line options. You've got Jonah Savianea. You've got Tate Ratledge. We're picking twice right here. We're picking 69 and we're picking 73. And then we'll pick 92 and 106. And man, we picked up some extra picks. That's why I love mock draft season. We can be as unrealistic as we want to. Hit the button. Hit the button, he says. All right. Who would I take? Jonah? You guys want Jonah? Or would you rather have Josh Connerly because he's undervalued according to them? 6'4", 315, a little bit smaller than Jonah. You guys want a big based one, don't you? This is too high for a center in this draft class. This draft class is not strong for center, guys. You're going to take a center to develop behind Coleman Shelton is what's going to happen. I like Armaj Reed Adams as well, but he hasn't had a long sample size. This is really his first breakout year. I'm not taking Parker Brailsford, even if 10 of you want to. I'm not doing it. I would take Tate Ratledge in a heartbeat. I'd take Jonah. Connerly. You guys want Connerly? I think we could take him with our next one in this draft. I don't even know who this is. I need to look more into him. Ooh, he's had a huge year, but it's at William and Mary. So I don't know who he is. 6'4", 300. He's a little undersized. I don't like PFF. I like him for their stats. I don't like him for their draft analysis. I like my own draft analysis better. I want to take Tate Ratledge here. I think he'd be going at 69. What do you guys think? Ratledge? Yep, you guys are saying that right now. All right, I'm taking Tate Ratledge. I agree with you guys. I really like Tate Ratledge. I'm going to go back and show you guys. I've shown a lot on him already, but he's big. 6'6", 320, and he can move. He's got lateral movement in his feet. He can shuffle. He reminds me a lot. He's at right guard. He reminds me a lot of Tevin. I really like Tate Ratledge a lot. So we've taken a guard. Now, I want to just see where the running backs land. Where is... They don't even have him, do they? Cam Scatterby, 207. There's no way Cam Scatterby's landing 207. We're taking Cam Scatterby. I don't care what you guys say. All right, not right now. We're not. All right, what are we thinking? So now our options, we should be looking at a tackle, probably a safety. I like Latham Ransom a lot. He's had a huge year. Look at those tackles. And his coverage grades aren't shown on here. I'd have to go to premium stats to show his coverage grades, but his cover grades are really good. Plays in the slot and in the box. He can play deep. Really a strong safety, more than a free safety, but he's just had a great year. I really like Latham Ransom. I've had him on a few of my mock drafts. Save Scatterby for the last pick is what I'll do. No, but we got to bring in some guys. I mean, we've been hurt all year, and Scatterby would go hand in hand with Swift. Roschon, I don't know if he's proven yet. Kid from Penn State. Let's look at who you're talking about with the kid from Penn State. Harold Fannin Jr. is an amazing tight end. Look at this year he's had 1,342 yards, but it's at Bowling Green. I really like Harold Fannin Jr. too. Where are we picking here? 73, and then we're picking at 92. And this is one I would just see if Harold lasts till then. I like Latham Ransom here. I like Harold Fannin. Nick Amenwari? No way he lasted this long. He's going way higher than this. He's a beast. If you guys haven't seen Nick Amenwari, you need to look into him. I want to take Nick Amenwari is what I want to take. You guys want to go? Let's see what we got here. We got this pick here, which is 73. Then we're picking again at 92, and we're picking at 106, and we're picking at 118. I want to take our safety right here. I want to take Nick Amenwari. I really like him. What do you guys think? Or Latham Ransom? You guys want to go tight end? Never saw Nick Amenwari. He's big. He's a 6'3" safety, and he's big. He's like 225 pounds, and he plays big, and he's quick. It's usually the problem with safeties that are that big is they can't move, and he can stay hip to hip with anybody. Like he's an absolute animal. You guys will appreciate it later. I'm taking Nick Amenwari. I'm taking that one off your hands. All right, let's see who went between there. So we took Nick Amenwari. Deion Walker went. He'll go in the second round easily. Charles Grant, the William and Mary I need to look into. Maxwell Harrison, Jeffrey Bassa. Latham Ransom went. I like Latham Ransom. Derek Harmon. I actually like Derek Harmon. I don't think he fits the Bears as much. Harold Fannin went right there. Armand Reed Adams, the one I said before. And we still got some options here, don't we? All right. So let's look at our offensive lineman now. You guys think this is a good place for us to take our unrealistic Josh Connerly? I don't think he'll be there, but you guys want to take him? Yeah, all of our defensive backs will be needed the following year. Sorry, this is going right into the beginning of Thursday Night Football. I didn't mean it to go this long. This is what happens when you do a mock draft. Now I'm going to have to change the title of this video to a mock draft as well. All right, let's take Josh Connerly. Let's get through this thing. There's Josh Connerly. All right, let's see what we have here. JJ Pegas. Rod Moore. Let's look at needs now at this point. I don't know Eurosec as much. Jaden Roberts is still there. I would take Jaden Roberts. Armand Membu. I would take Membu over Roberts. So Armand Membu is listed at tackle. but he's 6'3", 314. His arms are a little shorter, and he plays huge, though. Like, he has good lateral movement. I really like Armand Membu. If I'm in this situation, I'm probably taking Membu here and taking a running back or a center at 118. Luke Kandra I like a lot, too. Luke Kandra's had a good year as well. 6'4", 323. Played at right guard a lot. What do you think? Membu? You love Membu? Take his center at 106 and Flyers with second last Caleb's college center. Give me Scattaboo. I got to take Scattaboo, right? All right. We got 2 picks left. Taking Membu for the offensive line. And we got to take Scattaboo, right? Right? We got to take Scattaboo. I'm doing it. Ooh, can we trade and get 2 more? For 118, we'll give them back. Let's just see if they do it. All right, we got 2 more picks. All right, so now we can take, who was it you guys wanted? Tight end. Did you guys want a tight end? We made this so unrealistic. I love it. Ooh, Harold Perkins. Not bad. He's had a bad year. We got to take Scattaboo now, though. Kobe King. Linebacker out of Penn State. I like Kobe King a lot. All right, I'm taking over. Taking Kobe King. Oh, no, we didn't get our other pick. Just pretend we took Scattaboo with our last pick. We traded for an extra pick. Yeah, we need a center. We'd get Jake Majors, too. All right, we had some fun, though. Let's see how this ended up. We took Walter Nolan, James Pierce, Princely Umanmielen. See, guys, it's going to work out for us to get these defensive guys. Don't give me a D+ for that. Give me a break. He's not 39th ranked. Then we got Tate Ratledge, Josh Carnley, Armand Membu on the offensive line, Nick Imanwari, and Kobe King. I honestly love this one. Love this draft. I'm a fan of it. Good job, guys. You guys win. Mason Nation for the win. Bears win. So move that from there. Bring this back up. What are your guys' predictions? Then we'll get out of here. I got the Bears. This is my want. This is not my official what I think will happen. I think the Bears will keep it close, but I think it's probably going to be in the 20s for both teams. The Bears most they've scored this year 36. The most they've had allowed is 38. So that's why I went with 36-38. What do you guys think, though? Give me your predictions on the side real quick. We'll get out of here. Watch Thursday Night Football. We'll get rolling. I'll have my Edge video out soon, but I'm hoping Monday night we have a lot of excitement to talk about when we have Caleb go off for a 400-yard game. 35-14 Vikings, says Bob. It's possible. 31-24 Vikings. 27-24 Bears. We got a Bears fan still rooting for the Bears. I'm rooting for them. I just don't think what's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all you guys. Let's go get a win. Atmos says 24-17 Bears. I love it. Let's do it. All right. With that, thanks for tuning in. Keep tuning in. Bear down and da Bears.